A cast iron rule of politics is that every crisis brings opportunity. The global energy shock reviving the push to ramp up taxes on the nation's multinational gas exporters.
It's not their gas. It's not the government's gas. It's not the opposition's gas. It's our gas.
Now the population has wised up to what's been happening for decades now. And so with a 75% support for a 25% gas export levy, that is huge support.
We're one of the biggest gas exporters in the world. We want a fair return on the exports of our gas, and yet the major parties are missing in action.
A phalanx of crossbench MPs and senators urging the government to raise about $17 billion a year from the industry, which is poised to benefit from a leap in global energy prices because of the war against Iran. A populist campaign unifying Greens, inner-city Teals, Independents and One Nation.
Australia has not been getting a fair return from a substantial asset. We don't agree with the Greens' sort of 25% tax. They just completely blow things up. I think you have to ask some, give some, and the give some is streamlining people's capabilities to extract gas.
Louder calls for a gas tax or reservation scheme coincide with a significant rise in the number of voters prepared to challenge the status quo. Nowhere is this more apparent than in One Nation's strong showing in the South Australia state election on Saturday. Pauline Hanson's party outpolling the Liberals for the first time.
The polling is not an aberration, it's real, and if you ground truth it, you can see it's real.
While delivering a thumping majority for re-elected Premier Peter Malinauskas, the South Australian election demonstrates Liberals are in an existential fight for their status as a party of government. Voters in the state also confirmed national polls that show One Nation is a threat to the coalition. Were it repeated at the next federal election, Saturday's result suggests One Nation could more than double its numbers in the Senate to 8 or 9 seats or more.
So we're always very, very cautious about saying what's going to happen at a federal election 2 years away. I mean, it could go much better, it could go much worse. You're in the second lap of a 1,500-metre race, so don't start waving at the crowd just yet.
One Nation's rise in South Australia has given the party momentum for the looming Farrer by-election in early May, which is a critical test of fresh coalition leaders' ability to retain a federal seat that has always been Nationals or Liberal, and where the leading Independent and One Nation candidates have told 7:30 they support action on gas exports.
Yeah, we've got people working really hard, being taxed a lot of money, and to not tax those big businesses just doesn't make sense.
We've got to be able to look at what are all the revenue opportunities we've got. I think gas is definitely one of them.
The near-unity ticket for action will only strengthen as the war persists. Just as in the months after the invasion of Ukraine 4 years ago, this crisis threatens to inflate domestic gas prices. For now, some in the government pushing back against calls for a windfall tax on the world's second biggest LNG export industry.
All of the gas companies do pay a significant amount of tax in this country. They also employ over 80,000 Australians and contribute quite heartily to the regions right around the country. Even
so, the government is mulling its options. The ABC revealed late last week that the Prime Minister's department has asked Treasury to model an export gas tax. The Treasurer today leaving the door open.
Will you impose a windfall tax, as other nations did in 2022, to ensure Australians get a fair share of this wartime windfall from their natural resources?
I acknowledge that there are a range of views about it, and any further steps on tax reform would be a matter for Cabinet in the usual way.
The government under pressure to avoid discouraging future investment.
We think it is the wrong approach to be looking at increasing taxes on businesses at this time.
In the meantime, there's a race to secure supplies of imported liquid energy, everything from aviation fuel to diesel, amid growing anxiety about shortages at petrol stations.
6 out of the 81 expected deliveries over that time have been cancelled or deferred and have now, to at least some degree, been replaced with new supply.
The Energy Minister confirming work is underway on a Plan B.
As I indicated again on the weekend, the establishment of a national fuel emergency would be a very significant step. It's never been done. That's what would be required. And I think we're a long way from that. But of course, the Commonwealth and the states will work together for prudent contingency planning in a very challenged international environment.
While the government is eager to maintain calm and project competence, an energy crisis is the ultimate cost of living wrecking ball, producing a fertile environment for resurgent populist and grievance-driven political movements to flourish.
Member